Hey everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV coming to you from Little Dell Reservoir in Utah. I just wanted to quickly announce before today's video the previous 3 weeks of the VIP Masterclass series videos. Last week's video is dedicated to Brian, who asked about how to do effective metronome practice while still maintaining the expression. I find that's a very common problem among students, that as soon as they turn on the metronome, their brain goes out the window so far as any type of dynamics or expression. The week before that was dedicated to Marco. His video request was on the Mendelssohn Serious Variations, Opus 54, and the week before that was dedicated to Nathaniel, who requested a video on the Allegro Barbaro by Bartok, and in specific, how you can effectively execute the octaves without getting fatigued. If you'd like to become a member or subscribe, just click on the link below. Now on to today's video. Hi everyone, today's episode is dedicated to my student Whitney, who is working on the Mendelssohn Concerto in G minor. Doing a brilliant job. I think she's 13 or 14 years old, I'm not sure yet. Or I'm not sure right now how old, but she is. Really fun concerto. I played with the Utah Symphony the third movement when I was 12, which was like a highlight in my young career. I loved it. And so this concerto is very dear to me. I wanted to go over a little concept that my lifelong teacher, Dr. Susan Duhlmeyer, who's so brilliant, taught me when I was in my teens. She said, somebody said, do your hands get tired when you play? And she said, oh no. She's like, after all, you don't play piano with your hands. And the guy said, oh, well, what do you mean by that? Of course you do. And she said, everything happens in the brain, and it tells your hands what to do. And similarly, one of my other teachers, Sergei Babayan, he's such a funny guy. He's like, what is this? He has a great accent. He's from Armenia, but spent a lot of his time in Russia. He's like, what is this? Is it a piece of meat? It is just meat. It's flesh. It is nothing. The brain is everything. You must always have the brain be in control. So with that said, Whitney was struggling a little bit with this passage. Her hands would get off like that. So one thing I told her to do was to put little tiny pulses on the beginnings of each beat. Exaggerated at first. We'll just go up to there. Okay, now. Okay, pretty good. There was a couple little blemishes. A little blemish there. It's getting better. Similarly, one of these Chopin etudes that I played for many years, it's easy for that to get off. Kind of guessing, but anytime you struggle getting something technically, think to yourself, how is my fingering, first of all? Because a lot of times changing your fingering from an awkward, like crossing over, will immediately help. The second thing is, how can I organize this differently? So for Whitney, it was just a little simple matter of putting a little beat on that. And it's nice that it helps the music anyway sound a little more intense, because this sense con forza, I'm going to start a little softer because I want that long crescendo. Sorry. Okay? And it's really helpful in all sorts of passages. Again, you can do things like rhythms, which I think are the greatest bang for your buck. That's why I mention them so often. But keep those two tricks in mind as you think about this concept of you don't play piano with your hands, you play it with your mind. Always think, how can I fix my fingering to make this more comfortable? And then how can I organize it differently? Another little tip that is a very basic one, but really helps, rather than thinking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a perfect passage, by the way, to demonstrate this because of the way it's written. You can think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's like, well, duh, of course you do that. But if you didn't have that passage written out like that with those overlapping little 4-note figures,
You wouldn't have thought of that, most likely. That's an old German technique, I believe, because I've heard many different Schnabel students. So my teacher was a student of, Dr. Duhlmeyer was a student of Leonard Shore and Leon Fleischer, who were students of Schnabel. And then also I went to see another one of Leonard Shore's students, and he said the same thing to me. He said, oh, always think going into the next beat. So that helps to organize things differently. Sometimes you have to think of things in a broader pattern. How is this pattern going to help me to keep things straight? Sometimes you have to think in terms of black and white key relationships. So the main point of this video is teaching you how to organize music for greater in your mind, for greater ease in playing. I hope it's been helpful. If any of you have any questions, just let me know. My email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. If you wouldn't mind liking this video or sharing it with on social media, I'd be most grateful. Thank you so much for your support. You're going to see a couple of videos come up here if you'd like to continue watching more of my channel. You'll also see my website, and also if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel down here, that would be great. Thank you so much. See you next week.